What's going on, guys? It's Kyle. Welcome to the Stock Goat YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering the SoFi stock and the overall market. I want to apologize for taking off a little bit of time. I think I took off about 9 days. And I usually, back in the day, used to do a countdown to earnings, a video every single day, starting at like day 20. But, the good news is we're going to be, kind of starting off right now with 6 trading days until the SoFi earnings, guys. So we are literally right around the corner. Once we get to the weekend, we have one final week of a push, and then the earnings are going to be coming out on a Monday morning pre-market. And I think that's the best thing that SoFi could do. Separate themselves from other fintechs that are having, earnings on the same day. I don't know, a lot of you guys may not have been following the SoFi channel, the Stock Goat, for a very long time. Some people have been following for a year, year and a half, 2 years. And guys, do you remember? Some of you guys might not remember this, but at one point, Upstart, dropped in earnings. That was an awful earnings, and the stock went down 50 to 60%. And SoFi had earnings the next day. And literally the day opened up, SoFi was supposed to, report their earnings after market 4 o'clock. And, they didn't have a chance to. The stock was already down 20 to 25% inside of the day. SoFi ended up releasing their earnings midday because it got so crazy. They said, they didn't do it, or it was an accident or something like that. I think they wanted to get their earnings out because basically we were getting the exact same thing as Upstart, and our earnings weren't even released yet. So that's how bad it's been for SoFi, the past 1 to 2 years. We were literally following these other companies, these other fintechs, literally neck and neck, the day before the earnings. So we definitely had to get away from Upstart, and that's what we're getting now. We're in pre-market. We're probably a couple of days away from them. But yes, guys, that's how bad it was. SoFi was dropping 25% before their earnings even came out. So I'm glad we're out of that. SoFi is more established. They've separated themselves from every other fintech, and I think, once again, I say this every time, this is going to be the best earnings report ever. And to be truthful with you guys, the last earnings, it wasn't stellar across the board. I give it like a B minus or something like that. We had a lot of problems. Galileo lost some accounts. We didn't sell loans. There was a couple of problems. For us to be up 30% on this earnings, we got to do something crazy, out of this world. We need to see some type of metric that just blows people across the water in case something is, a little off on the earnings. We need something to, make everything look perfect, just in case there's something holding us back. So we need something stellar. If you find any of this information useful, be sure to smash the like button. Don't forget to drop a comment. I'm going to be coming back to as many people as I can. We're just going to, cover what's been going on with the market today and, what we could be looking for with the SoFi earnings. Remember, guys, this is the #1 channel covering the SoFi stock. We've been covering this bad boy for 2.5 years. Let's get into it. All right, guys, here we go. We got the S&P 500 down 0.68. Dow was up a little bit. And then the NASDAQ. We haven't seen this in a while. This is good news. We want to see the NASDAQ pull back -2%. Russell small cap pulling back a little bit, about 1%. And then SoFi down 2.8% today. If you think this looks pretty bad, if you just got off of work or something like that and you think this is bad, wait till I show you what happened inside of the market with all the other stocks. Take a look at the volume today. 41 million, average volume 54 million, so a little bit light on the volume. But guys, I'm telling you right now, if you just look at the 5-day chart, we surpassed $10, I think almost 3 times in the past 5 trading days. So I'm telling you right now, even Stevie Wonder could see this stock is going to be heading over 1050 next week prior to our earnings, guys. The chart looks absolutely incredible. It just continues to bounce back after these nasty little cliff fall-offs. It's all artificial trading. Money makers are just moving the markets. I think we're going to see 1050 plus heading into earnings next week. All right, here we go. Let's just start from the bottom, guys. This is the overall market today. Carvana down 16, and of course, Tesla had a pretty good earnings. Some people were talking about margins and stuff like that, price drops, but a double beat still didn't do the trick. Tesla down almost 10% on the day, and then you also had Netflix. Substantial subscriber growth, doesn't matter. Some cracks in the earnings, I guess. Down 9%. These were pretty good earnings, guys, but just so you know, if it's not absolutely stellar across the board because things have ran up so much, you're going to get these sell-offs. That's what I keep talking about with SoFi, guys. We got to see a blowout in some type of metric within the earnings. Drop a comment. What type of metric do you think that could be? Deposits, user growth, financial services, selling loans, who knows? But we need something to blow away the earnings because I don't think a double beat is going to do the trick. Unity down 8, Cloudflare down 8, Fubu down 6, CrowdStrike down 6. I mean, guys, we're not even a third of the way. Everything got absolutely hammered today. AMD down 5%, Upstart 5, Palantir 5, Snowflake 4. We're only at a top 100 now. Lucid got smashed. Open Door 4. Lending Club 4. Let's keep going a little bit. Nvidia down 3.3. Affirm 3. Now we're getting into about the 60 percentile, 62 rank. Robinhood. We'll just go all the way to the top, and we can see Rivian green. I mean, a lot of the bank stocks, were green today. And of course, the day that the bank stocks are green, SoFi isn't considered a bank. That's just how the market makers do it. It just doesn't make sense at all. Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, green. Wells Fargo, green. JP Morgan, all the banks were green today, and we did not participate in this rally. But when it comes to bear articles, we're always a bank. But when it comes to, moving with the banks, we don't move with them. It just makes no sense. But understand, SoFi is a bank, but it is also a technology company. They use a lot of AI, a lot of automated transactions to get their loans approved. It's an AI / bank stock / fintech / digital bank. It has insane growth. That's why we're all buying it. We want to see compounded 30% growth for the next 5 to 10 years. 40% margins on profit, and then boom, guys, you're gonna get a $100 billion plus company in the next couple of years or so. Guys, I've been following Anthony Noto for a while now, and I've never seen the dude so excited on Twitter, talking to so many people. I think they are in full control over their future, their earnings. They know exactly where they want to push the company each and every quarter, depending on the type of market we have. And you can see just my last video I filmed around July 11th, a day later. It's a matter of when, not if, we become a top 10 financial institution in the country, when it's going to be driven by SoFi continuing to deliver on being a household brand name or being a trusted partner for our members. So guys, he sees this as a top 10 financial institution. I pretty much believe that would be like over 50 billion. That's going to give Anthony Noto and all the other insiders, their massive, massive bonuses. That'll put the stock over $45 for sure if they get over a top 10 financial institution. So everything is looking really good. Anthony Noto is very hyped, and guys, this came after Q2 completed. We're in July Q3, so it looks like he's very excited about the metrics. You can also see just 2 days later, our business doesn't exist without technology. I believe this came out with a short article that SoFi is just a bank. He acknowledged that we are not just a bank, we're using technology. We are absolutely a technology company and a bank. That's the only company serving as a digital one-stop shop for all financial needs of today's consumers. And as a result of this technology, we're able to offer superior value proposition. So this was him defending SoFi against another short article against SoFi just being a bank. Great news, guys. He continues to come back, and we bounced back really hard after that dip as well. So the CEO is seeing the metric. I just personally believe it was an amazing Q2 all around the board. I'm very excited to see this earnings, and I think there's a possibility, maybe a 50% possibility of SoFi turning a profit. I mean, just because SoFi says they're going to be profitable Q4 doesn't mean, they will be profitable Q4. It could be much faster than that. I mean, I think saying Q4 for the past 6 months, that means 300% sure that SoFi is going to be profitable Q4. I think it's either going to be Q2 or Q3. And if you go back on my Twitter over a year ago, SoFi was able to cut earnings, I believe, $32 to $34 million, 2 quarters, quarter over quarter. And they just lost $36 million last quarter. So if they do that same type of, $34 million jump, that puts them at a $2 million loss. So this could potentially happen if we see, lending jump up $10 million profit. We also see financial services cut the losses back maybe 20 million because revenue is just growing so stellar. Stock-based compensation comes back 5. Galileo, Anthony Noto said was going to be a little bit better in the back end, has a little bit of a better quarter, maybe plus 2 million. Boom, guys, that gives you your profitable $1 million profit. I mean, that's going to be a positive EPS. The street's looking for negative 5% EPS. So yeah, it's a possibility it could happen this quarter. We've seen them make $34 million jumps in the past year. Now that they are even more accustomed to this bank charter, you never know. It could happen. I mean, some people were pulling for it in Q1. I think, never know. There's a possibility it could happen. And if you're new to the channel, guys, just understand, You know, a lot of people are asking, should I buy now? Is this a good buying opportunity? I mean, just take a look at this video right here. We're not even going to watch it. CNBC, 11 months ago. Look at the thumbnail, guys. I mean, right here. SoFi, 737 in the thumbnail. You got to look at it. I mean, we're literally up, what, 20% higher than that a year later? Think about all the things that SoFi's accomplished in the past year. I mean, they've acquired, 2 additional companies and are pulling for a profit, this year. So this is absolutely insane. A 1 year difference, 20%. This stock has been beaten down so many times after every earnings. I want to see the stock go up 30%. I want to see the stock hold. I need something stellar across the board, some type of crazy metric. Now, I keep telling you guys, next week I see 1050 plus. I mean, that is just because of what I'm seeing in the options market. The options market is absolutely crazy. This week, I feel bad for Tesla and Netflix. They put their earnings on a bad week. It's one of those crazy, crazy high volume puts and calls week. You can see this week that is expiring tomorrow. Look at SoFi, guys, the 21st. This is literally tomorrow. Puts were at 288,000 calls. Same thing, 304,000. I mean, these are looking to be offset. We're probably finished tomorrow right around 950 to 10. This is exactly what they want to do. The market makers expire this stock under $10. Just, absolutely obliterate the puts and calls. And then look what happens the next 3 weeks. Extremely low volume on calls the next 3 weeks. But look at puts. Puts are absolutely insane right around the week of earnings. That is crazy. What is that for? That is for the 4th. Yep, guys, that's a couple of days after earnings. So somebody is betting huge against SoFi. Huge. I mean, this is insane. I didn't even see this until now. I mean, tripled the call. So this isn't your average retail investor hedging. A lot of, some retail investors hedge against, earnings. But guys, this is some big whales out there betting against SoFi, betting it's going to go down. You're seeing tripled the volume, on calls. That's crazy. Same thing with Tesla today. I mean, there was a million freaking puts, 800,000 calls. And then look, the next 6 weeks, there's nothing anywhere close to 800,000 calls. I mean, 600,000, that's a couple of months later. So this was just a bad week for puts and calls. Like I said, the Tesla earnings were, pretty solid from what I heard. And it doesn't matter. Look at that 10% drop. Puts won, calls evaporated. It'll probably bounce up the next couple of weeks because you see just the volume is just much lower the next couple of weeks. So this was a bad week. Once again, it's very, very good for SoFi the next 3 weeks, guys. Very, very low call option. And this is what I'm potentially, looking for. I want to see something crazy across the board for SoFi, to get this stock ripping again against these big legacy banks to show that, fintechs are winning. Maybe 500,000 members, you never know. We've been on that steady 400,000 member course, but remember, Anthony Noto did say it's time to ramp up to 800K potentially by 2024. Maybe we get to $3 billion deposits. We've seen deposit flows come out of these big banks. We hit about 2.3 the last quarter. Maybe we see a ramp up. I know a lot of people are just calling for 2 billion. I want to see it accelerate. I don't want to see going back. I want to see it going forward. Maybe we hear some news on a legacy banking partner, adopting some of the services of Galileo. That would be huge as well. Potentially squeezing a profit out of Q2. That will be huge. So we need to see, one of these things. Drop a comment, something else that you might be looking for that could, overlap some other negative metrics inside of SoFi. But yes, guys, we need something huge because a double beat and a guidance raise, I personally don't think is going to do it. We can see the stock go up 10% and then, some bears start talking about other things and, we just go flat again. We need to see something crazy this quarter. Something crazy. That's the only way to get this stock up 30% because there's so much shorts out there. There's so many bear articles. You got to do something to really separate yourself from the competition, especially, the legacy banking market. If you made it to the end of the video, I want to say I really do appreciate it. I enjoyed doing this video for you. Sorry I took off a couple of days, but yes, guys, we're getting ramped up for SoFi earnings. We're literally 6 days away from earnings. That's 6 trading days, guys. So it's going to be happening in a blink of an eye. Remember, this is a crazy week for options. You just saw it. I mean, this is the highest volume, we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 months. It's going to really back off next week. I see the stock around 1050 or so heading into earnings. And yes, guys, if we blow it out of the water and get that 30% move, we're going to be in the $13 to $14 range. And that's what I'm looking at. Profitability is what we need to maintain these types of price movements. So let's see what's going to happen. Don't forget to drop a comment. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's try and get the channel past 15,000 subscribers. Once again, my name is Kyle. Hope you have a great day.